Hello guys, Stephen Gray here of Anglo-Celtic Metal Detecting, and I'm here today in all this crazy weather we're having. Just had hailstones and all kinds. I don't care if we get it all afternoon. I've got an important video to make. I want to make a comprehensive user guide to the Makro Racer 2. I've got a ploughed field there, I've got a pasture there. I'm going to put it in every mode, and I'm going to be testing it on deep targets. They'll all be buried to save time. That I will bury. We'll hear the audio responses and what the machine's telling us about them. And if I am lucky enough to come across a deep target naturally in the field, I'll test it on all modes. Bear in mind, I got a small 1941 copper farthing at 14 inches on two-tone, gain of 80, ID filter at 3. I like to run on a low ID filter so I can hear all the iron. Yeah, so this should be a great video, should be invaluable. So please help support my channel, Anglo-Celtic Metal Detecting, YouTube. I'm helping to get you on the goodies with this amazing machine. So click subscribe for me please guys. The better my channel does, the more help I can be to my friends, yourselves. Right, let's get my go-to setting is always two tones. Don't ask me why, it's just the one I'm most comfortable with and I've had great results with. So we're in two tones. I'm going to put the gain up to let's try 93. ID filters on 3. Everything else, notch filter, iron audio, that's all on factory presets. Audio tones, you name it, it's all on presets. Apart from we're in two-tone, gain of 93. That's basically it, okay? And we're going to try on a target of 10 inches. We've got a Victoria penny down there, pre-decimal penny. This hole is more like 30 centimetres, so we'll see how we get on at that. 12 inches, 30 centimetres. Okay guys, I'm just going to fill the hole in now. So see how we get on with that at 12 inches on a pre-decimal Victoria penny. 12 inches on a Queen Victoria penny. Great audio. Numbers jumping a bit there, but that's just how this machine is. You soon get used to them. It was mainly on 82 before. Now switch to three-tone, go back down to gain. Gonna put it to the exact same 93, and we'll see how it picks up on the Queen Victoria penny at 12 inches. Purpose of this at the minute is for the audio, really. That's a lovely audio at 12 inches on a Victoria penny. I'd dig that all day. Right guys, if you look over to the top left, we're now in all metal mode. Same again, gain up to 93. And it's basically just to hear what audio signal we're getting. Spoiler alert guys, I didn't put it into tracking mode on all metal, I'm learning too. "12 inches on a Victoria penny." We're getting a massive hit there. Similar numbers, late 70s, 80s. Okay, that's all metal mode on a Victoria penny at 12 inches. Now if you look top right there, we are now in the deep mode. Same again, pull down, gain on 93, and we're going to go over this 12-inch deep Victoria penny. I must admit I've not used deep mode much because I just love the two-tone settings, but I'm very impressed with the audio response I'm getting off this 12-inch deep penny. Listen. Similar numbers, they're on 70s, 80s, massive audio response on that 12-inch deep Victoria penny on 93 gain in deep mode on the Makro Racer 2. Okay guys, we're now at 15 inches, definitely at 15, it's just hard to gauge there, but we are. The penny's down there, and we're going to go in all metal mode. All metal mode, tracking on, 14 inches on the Victoria penny. You're gonna dig that all day, and you've seen the numbers were very good. And most importantly, before we change it into any other discrimination mode, we need to knock that tracking off. Now let's see if deep can pick that up on the 93 gain. Victoria penny on 14 inches. It's given a very broken response. I don't think many people would dig that. So that's deep mode, 14 inches on a Victoria penny. Definitely all metal mode's the winner up to now. So that was it for 14 inches on the plough, only all metal and deep slightly picked it up. Keep in mind the halo effect, because that Victoria penny is larger than the farthing that I did pick up in two tones with 80 gain, but that was a live target, and that would have had the natural halo effect interacting with the ground and the coin, and that's what the machine was picking up that time. This hasn't got the halo effect because I've only just buried it. Okay guys, I've just scooped some earth out, and it just so happens that this one's at 13 inches. It's at 13 inches there. So we're going to test all the discrim modes and all metal on pasture again. Queen Victoria penny at 13 inches. Just fill a hole in guys. Right, we'll try two-tone first at 13 inches. Most important, as soon as you go out of all metal mode, take the tracking off. Oh, in fact, we've got to go back into all metal to take it off. Tracking off. Now we're going to the other modes. Two-tone, 93, everything else presets. 13 inches on a Queen Victoria penny. Okay guys, these tests are more about whether you dig off the audio as far as I'm concerned. 13 inches on the penny, two tones, no tracking, 93 gain, 3 on the ID filter. You'd dig that all day, wouldn't you? And don't forget, there's no halo effect going on with these at the minute. Now we're in 3 tones, gain, 93 again, everything else stock, and we'll swing it over the Queen Victoria penny at 13 inches on pasture. I must reiterate, for me, the most important thing about these tests is whether you dig on the audio. That's in 3 tones, 13 inches on a Queen Victoria penny pasture. You dig it, but everybody will have their own preferences. My default setting is 2 tones. Now we're back into deep. Remember, tracking is off. Gain of 93. Everything else stock. 13 inches. Queen Victoria penny on pasture. Makro Racer 2. Slower sweep mode is advised, remember, with deep mode. You dig that 13-inch Queen Victoria penny all day with that audio. Okay, if you look on the modes, top left, we're now back in all metal mode. So I need to go back down, switch the tracking on, and we'll do the Queen Victoria 13 inches. Gains on 93, all metal mode. Lovely audio in the all metal on that 13-inch penny. I dig that all day. There you see the penny scooped out a bit more. This just happens to be at 15 inches, which I'll now demonstrate. $15 on the grass there. Okay, we'll see what modes. We'll pick the Victoria penny up on pasture at 15 inches with the Makro Racer 2. Okay, just fill that hole and look, there she is down there. Get back to you guys, okay? Okay guys, we're in two-tone as you see there. Gain of 93, everything else stock. Tracking off because we're in discrim modes. And we're going to sweep it over the Victoria penny on pasture at 15 inches this time, the Makro Racer 2, and see which modes pick it up. Two-tone this time. Two tones, 93 gain, 3 on the ID filter. Victoria penny at 15 inches with the Makro Racer 2 on pasture. Personally, when I'm chasing them deep targets like a proper hunter, I would dig that, but most people wouldn't. Okay, 3 tones now, 93 gain, everything else factory, 15 inches pasture, Queen Victoria penny. Even I wouldn't dig that one. Well, I have dug, you know, I don't use 3 tone. But in two-tone, I've dug wispy targets like that. Entirely up to the user, this is why I'm doing the test. Those wispy targets are deep targets. Deep mode now. Gain 93. Presets for everything else. Remember, in deep mode, a slower sweep mode is required. 15 inches on the Victoria penny on pasture. Going by the audio, I definitely dig that. 15 inches on pasture for the Queen Victoria penny on deep mode with the Makro Racer 2. You look to the top left on modes, we're back in all metal. Gain of 93, we take it down. Most importantly, put the tracking back on now in all metal only. The tracking is needed. 15 inches Queen Victoria penny on pasture, Makro Racer 2. I'd certainly dig that. Okay guys, this time the hole's just a touch deeper. It's at 16 inches. Okay guys, at 16 inches, I'm not going to mess around. I'm in all metal, tracking is on, gain 93. 16 inches on pasture, Victoria penny, all metal, straight into deep mode as you can see there. At 16 inches, gain at 93, everything else factory. Key, as I keep reiterating, once we go back into the scrim, tracking off. 16 inches, deep mode. I dig that. 16 inches, 3 tones. All the settings the same as what I've been using. Tracking off, remember. If you're going after deep targets, you'd dig that in 3 tones. 2 tones at 16 inches now. I would dig that on 2 tones at 16 inches.